every person should have a healthy distrust of their own mind. Because as advanced as the human brain is, light years ahead of every other animal on Earth, we are still animals. And the human brain is a very flawed yet very powerful instrument. And that makes it rife for manipulation. Susceptible to propaganda, susceptible to wizardry. And when I say wizardry, I'm not referring to Harry Potter, although certainly stories like Harry Potter are metaphors for the way humanity can be manipulated, because real world wizards, they don't manipulate with potions and magic spells. Well, maybe the big pharmaceutical companies do, but they manipulate with words, they manipulate with rhetoric, and that's why it is so important that every person study propaganda, that every person study the way wizardry is done. And I like that I brought up the big pharmaceutical companies, because yes, we could look on the one hand and say they are certainly wizards with magic potions, right? You know, you're depressed, you have anxiety, whatever it might be, come in and take their pill and that will make you feel better. But what you don't know is that the pill will cause 1, 2, 5, 10 more ailments that are more serious than the initial ailment you went in for. And before you know it, you'll have all these problems caused by the very pill that you took because you were convinced it was going to fix your problem. But the wizardry, the true wizardry of what the pharmaceutical companies do, and they're a great example for this conversation, is not in the potions. It's not in the pills that they sell to society. It's not the lobbying and getting the laws changed by Congress or the corrupt politicians so that they could essentially do whatever they want and they could have these unchecked monopolies that are, in many cases, immune from lawsuits, just horrible stuff that the pharmaceutical industry is involved in. But the true wizardry is not what you would expect. The true wizardry is the wizardry of words. And if you think that's wrong, you won't in a minute. You'll realize that the wizardry has been in front of you your entire life, yet so many of us overlook it because it is speaking truth. It is the pointing out of falsehoods. That is the true antidote, the true potion to cure society of the debilitating damage done by lies of very corrupt people and very corrupt institutions. Now, on Super Bowl Sunday, for example, you'll be sitting in front of the television, but it doesn't have to be then. It could be really during any program you watch, especially during programs ran, CNN and Fox News and ABC and NBC, if you want to wonder why, money's a form of wizardry, right? You dangle the golden carrot and then the mainstream media is yours. They won't report on the negative things that the pharmaceutical companies do, but you're sitting down and you're watching the big game or you're watching the news and we have to go to commercial break. Do you suffer from depression? Talk to your doctor about generic antidepressant today. Side effects may include nausea, heartburn, vomiting, upset stomachs, aches, pains, and general discomfort. Talk to your doctor before operating heavy machinery while taking generic antidepressant. More serious side effects may include cancer, heart attack, seizures, stroke. Your left pinky toe might fall off. You may permanently lose the ability to use your legs. In fact, Your legs and arms themselves might fall off, leaving you as a quadriplegic. You may become permanently paralyzed, begging for death because you will be absolutely miserable. And in the meantime, you're sitting there and thinking, oh, well, I better talk to my doctor about generic antidepressant because they read off all the side effects in that very low and comforting voice. Doesn't this make you feel comforted? Do you feel threatened? Right now, I could threaten to fuck you up. But don't worry, because I'm talking at a very low voice. All at the same time, they show these very happy people. They're out to dinner together. They're laughing. There's usually a beautiful woman draped over the arm of a very strong and handsome silver fox. The next scene, that silver fox is at the park. He's throwing around the football with his young children. His body's just feeling great. So the visual you get is all of these happy people, and that makes you feel happy. And even though they're talking about the devastating side effects, well, that doesn't bother you because they're saying it in a very low and comforting voice. And what's going on in the meantime? You hear the beautiful music. I wanted to do, sorry about the thumb. That was the first time I played the piano for a video. I was very excited about that. But that's what they do. And this is wizardry. This is the pharmaceutical company using the study of the field of human psychology and the way the mind works. And they know that the human mind is so weak, so easily manipulated, that they can read off the worst side effects in the world, things that no rational person would think are okay. No rational person would hear the side effects listed in these commercials, go to their doctor and say, hey, sign me up for that. Sign me up for a lifetime of health problems because, I'm feeling a little sad. But this is the power of wizardry. Tone of voice, music can be very manipulative. And of course, images of happy people, even though they're telling you very sad, very, information that would be very dangerous to you. And this is the type of wizardry that goes on all over society. This is what the mainstream media specializes in. This is what the politicians specialize in. This is how they give us subliminal messages through music and propaganda. And any smart person would take some time to study how propaganda works. And certainly any person who is raising a child in the modern world would make sure that they are well aware of how such propaganda operates. Because if you're not studying it, if you're not aware of how it works, then you better bet that you're falling victim to it. And unfortunately, we have people all over our society who don't have the slightest idea how this stuff works. So always question your mind. Always make sure you have a healthy internal dialectic. What do you know to be fact? How do you know that it's fact? Is it assumption? Is it belief? Because a person that has absolute trust of their mind is a person very susceptible to propaganda.